part of this whole thing. There were always two of us putting that effort, two of us walking, two of us saying those lines. One, if I'm rehearsing, I'm sure the baby is listening.
So yeah, excellence is what we are always striving for.
So it is not about us, it's much more than that. And this is just a gist of what you've seen. It's been a while I've been working in the industry, and years of hard work, years of patience, years of disappointments, and still a lot of hope. And I think if I have to culminate it in one film and put it out there, I think it'll be Article 370 for me. So it means so much. And talking about the action bit, पहले पता नहीं किसी ने ऑफर ही नहीं किया रोल. शायद मैं अपना सोशल मीडिया अपडेट नहीं करती हूँ अपने स्किल्स तो शायद. But obviously every role comes with its own set of challenges and मेहनत जो सब करते हैं ऐसा. It's my job, to do what I do. Of course, काफ़ी challenges or physical challenges or to learn. Thank you. Yes, he's very caring. Professionally, of course, there was training. I'm very thankful to Colonel Keshwinder Singh and Bhushan sir for helping us with the military the advice and handling how to work with weapons. I mean, who gets an opportunity every day to fire these Glock 17s and MP5s? I think this was... So I don't have... What I'm trying to say, I don't have any sad story. I don't want to make it like, मैंने बहुत मेहनत मैं यहाँ गिर गई, मैं वहाँ गिर गई, मुझे ये injury आई. That's not important. The important bit is for me that I really had a blast working on this film. I had a great time working on this film. And I enjoyed that challenge. I think जिस दिन आप उस pain को, उस जो भी whatever you're going through or you're learning something new, you make it fun, you own it up, and you start having fun. Even though the BTS pictures might not support what I'm saying right now, I still look very intense. But that's the beauty of it. So thank you, Aditya, for giving me this opportunity. You would have been in trouble otherwise. And this is healthy nepotism. ये अच्छा वाला nepotism है. So happily. So it was really good.
So I'm not holding any gun. Unfortunately, I don't have any action sequences in this. But you can see the action. You can see when it comes on the big screen on the 23rd. But yes, talking about the cinema as such, how we were on this project and how we handle the whole project, I think it's all thanks to Aditya Jhamle and Aditya sir there. Both the Adityas, they had the story. It was so strong. The characters were so strong that I think it was very easy for us to bring something bring something live to all of you. And I just hope all of you love what you see. I mean, I'm sure you've loved what you've seen so far, but picture abhi baki hai, to jab 23rd ko aa jayega, aapko pata chalega.
What I'm trying to say that this film is not about us. It's not about Zuni or Rajeshwari. This film is about Article 370 and a whole full-fledged team that was responsible for making this this mission happen successfully, and which is the reason why it went down as a landmark chapter in our political history. So it is not about us. It's much more than that. And this is just a gist of what you've seen, because in real life that's exactly how it's happened. So it's a tribute to them, and it's just our way of telling their story of how some men and women of courage and efficiency, how they to imagine that someone's actually gone down and done that, and how between that why and how, that's what the story is.
Okay. So of course you are always, as a director, you're always tempted when you hear a great story, but as the belief of our company, so like it took me almost 17, 18 years to make an Uri. I was supposed to direct my first film in 2009. That didn't happen. I was supposed to direct my first film in 2011. That didn't happen. 2013, 14, 16. For various reasons, that didn't happen. And finally, Uri happened after 10 years. 2019 it released. And I understood that there was a huge problem, which I feel with our industry, where the talent was not being backed. It was like she said that like there was thoda chacha bhatija baat thoda zyada tha. And I met him during 2019 National Awards, and we happened to speak to each other at that time. And I realized that the kind of hunger and the kind of talent Jamle has, it might be even better. He might be even better than me. So let's give the best script to best deserving person. It's not like I wouldn't have made a good film out of this. I would have made a good film, but I wouldn't have made a better film than what Jamle has made. And I truly believe in that our company's motto is that let's give chance to people who are outsiders, who really deserve that opportunity, because I didn't get it. I didn't have any godfather, I didn't have any my baap. So I really truly believe in that.
I'll just like to add one thing.
Is it working?
I don't know. So the thing is, I think also being like he obviously we met and he gave that opportunity and had that trust in me. But I think also it deals with two things. It is one thing is about one thing is about the foundation on which the company is based on, which is thorough professionalism and trying to give the talent the freedom it needs. But also Aditya being a director turned producer, it helped me a lot. Because he's coming out not just with one perspective, he knows what perspective I am thinking of. So that balance is something that I think the destiny gave it to me, because I got Aditya, that okay, he knows why I'm saying a certain thing, and there was always a conversation. It was always a chemistry built on any decision whatsoever. So there was no friction of any kind. In fact, both of us also, including the other writing team also, Monal Thakur and Arjun Dhawan, we always were trying to make it better. So it was always that intention, and that I think he's the most important person who led that foundation and that process. He gave that direction. This is how we'll go ahead. And that helped me a lot as a director, because I was not under pressure of, how do I say, if I have to say something, if I want to make a certain treatment completely different. He was always like, go for it. I mean, you try it. I mean, whatever you want. So that I think is a very big thing for me.
The base is basically excellence. We have to strive for excellence, no matter what, and give audience something which they have never experienced before. That was the base with which we made Uri also. That let's give something which audience has never seen before, and same goes for this film, all the other films. He has directed another film for us, brilliant film. We'll talk about it someday else. That's also coming out really, really soon. So yeah, excellence is what we are always striving for.
Of course, it's mentally, there's so many questions. The first are always challenging, and if you're asking about motherhood and everything coming together at the same time, I really don't know what I would have done had Aditya not been there by my side. Had it been
Jaan le lo Aditya.
and Lokesh Bhaiya, everybody. I mean, it was of course a home production, but you're part of something. There's a sense of responsibility as an actor, and credibility as an actor, that you have to consistently be at it. Of course, we took precautions. That's also not a time where you tell everybody that okay, this is what's going to happen. It's the most it's something which is not kept secret, right? And but luckily, most of the stunts and the whole training bit, it was very rigorous training for weeks. As I already mentioned, very thankful to Keshav sir and Bhushan sir. He also took us to NSG here in Mumbai, and my God, that has to be one of the best days of my life, where you actually got to fire live, and I came out looking red like an apple. And they said, "What happened?" I said, "I don't know. I really enjoyed firing those shots." And so many emotions, of course, so many things. You want to be conscious, you want to be cautious, you want to be careful. I'm really thankful to some the the doctors that who were supervising this secretly. And so we were mostly left with the talkie portion or the walking shots which we could, work around and manage. But all in all, as he said, this was almost felt like, more than surreal. Like your baby is also part of this whole thing. There were always two of us putting that effort, two of us walking, two of us saying those lines. One, if I'm rehearsing, I'm sure the baby is listening, and I'll never. And I think somewhere the inspiration also comes from how I've seen my mother, work her way through when she was expecting my siblings, or I'm sure the kind of stories I've heard when she was expecting me. I think the kind of mental makeup, especially we Indian women have, I think it's way more stronger than we give ourselves credit for.
So people who label it as propaganda, I don't care about them. It is as simple as that. I really don't care about them, because the whole point is that I know where it's coming from. And Indian audience is actually very, very smart. They are really, really smart. They know a film. जब वो देखते हैं उनको समझ में आता है कि कौन सी फिल्म प्रोपेगेंडा है और कौन सी फिल्म का इंटेंट करेक्ट है. एंड मेरी फिल्म का हमेशा, टिल द टाइम आई एम अ फिल्म मेकर और आई एम अ प्रोड्यूसर और आई एम अ डायरेक्टर, द इंटेंट विल बी ऑलवेज राइट. द डे द इंटेंट इज रॉन्ग, आई विल स्टॉप मेकिंग फिल्म्स. सो आई डोंट केयर व्हाट पीपल से, स्पेशली दोज पीपल जो एजेंडा ड्रिवन क्रिटिक्स थे. एंड इट्स माई ऑब्जर्वेशन, आई माइट बी एब्सोल्युटली रॉन्ग, बट आई ऑलवेज थॉट दैट the downfall of agenda-driven critics happened from Uri. If you notice that all the people who had said such bad things about Uri at that time, audience just thronged to the theatres. They just went, and the result was what happened with Uri. So audience doesn't care. It doesn't care if what your political agenda is, what you are thinking and how you are presenting the reviews. What it cares about is what is the intent of the filmmaker. And trust me, like we have so many examples right now. We watch a 12th Fail and we know that the intent of Vidhu Vinod Chopra was something to make like a great film. अब आप उसको कैसा भी review दे दो, it doesn't matter. Audience will still go for it. So I always feel it's the intent which matters. And actually should say कि आप film देखिए. बिकॉज अगर मैंने यहाँ पे बता दिया तो
थोड़ा सा
बट आपको सब कुछ के बारे में थोड़ा थोड़ा समझ में आएगा. आपको क्लियरली समझ में आएगा कि ये कहाँ से शुरू हुआ था, कैसे हुआ था, और इसकी वजह से क्या क्या प्रॉब्लम्स हुई थी. वो आपको इस फिल्म में क्लियरली समझ में आएगा. हमने थोड़ा थोड़ा, 1-2.5 घंटे की फिल्म में, 1-2 घंटे की फिल्म में आप सब कुछ नहीं दिखा सकते हो. तो आप हमेशा चूज़ करते हो कि व्हाट इज़ द बेस्ट आई कैन शो, which makes the film interesting, entertaining for the audience, and at the same time gives them an information which is palatable for them. Otherwise ये documentary बन जाती है. तो आपको in all probability सब कुछ मिलेगा. आपको information भी मिलेगी, आपको thrill भी मिलेगा, आपको entertainment भी मिलेगा, और आप घर जाके ये अपने परिवार वालों के साथ डिस्कस भी करेंगे कि यार ये हुआ कैसे था, और ये कैसे जिस तरीके से हुआ था ये तो काफ़ी कमाल की तरीके से हुआ था. तो it has all those elements in it.
Already seen how easy it is with Aditya. I think we both professionals. We both respect our professional boundaries, and we don't overthink things so much. He knows in this film, of course, Aditya has worked in capacity of a writer, co-writer, and one of the producers, and who's hired me as a professional to do the job that I did. And if only it's helped me, I'd say. And na hi sirf is film mein, but for anything that I feel, I want to discuss something, some idea with Aditya, yeah, aaj maine scene aisa shoot kiya, maine waisa kiya. So that just is just an open discussion we anyways have. And so it was not difficult at all. I just said it. In fact, it was so I think very God-sent, the timing, because as I said, I don't know what I would have done had it not been Aditya by my side, because it was a very sensitive time, very sensitive film, a very important film for us. It's the first film in the family that's first production that's coming out there. So too many things, but at the same time, agar, as he said, I'm sure इस कॉन्फ्रेंस में आपने ये शब्द सुन लिया है, पर वो बहुत ज़रूरी शब्द है. अगर इंटेंशन साफ हो, क्लियर हो, अच्छा हो, तो सब अच्छा ही होता है. So very generous. Yeah, I think it all comes from a lot of factors, from what's your bent of mind at that point of time. Maybe I would have, maybe my choices 7, 8 years back wouldn't have voiced out or supported what my perspective would have been, but maybe that's, there's certain choices you make out of because there's lack of option around you. I'm talking just for myself. But there comes a time in life where you feel, I have to just stop being this fearful person, or fear of saying no, or fear of not doing films. It's okay if I'm not doing anything, but I'm not going to do anything substandard, anything which I don't have my heart in, and I'm just doing for the economics of it. I think the day that happened, and the film that followed that thought was, I'm not kidding, that was Uri. Thank you. And yeah, it happens, we hear about manifestations and all these things, and I think somewhere it must be true, So at that time, when you grab that opportunity, you also have to have that understanding that, yeah, this is that film. I'm one of the characters in the film. The film is not about me, but I know what potential it holds. Then came Bala, then came A Thursday, then came all these films, and of course, as I said, it all culminated into a 370. So it's a journey. It's a journey. I'm very, I don't know, proud is the word. Does it sound too much? I'm always very, I underplay a lot, I think, with words, and I'm very famous for not doing very famous PR, I think. But I won't have it any other way because it's my journey. It's my journey. I don't owe it to anyone. Of course, I owe it to my family, owe it to Aditya always says, okay, it's not just us, it's also the good karma of generations and generations that we're sitting here together. We got together, like-minded people, like-minded families coming and nurturing something nice. So we believe in these things, and I'm so happy that I've come to a point where, yes, I can give voice to my choices and the kind of work I want to do, the kind of work that makes me happy and my audience happy. More